Hey guys, Jordan here. In this video, I'm going to be talking about onboarding and training. So let's get into it. All right, so on my channel, I talk about real estate photography. So if that's something you're interested in learning about, make sure to subscribe. And on this video, I'm talking about onboarding and training and kind of my thoughts about it. I think it's, at the end of the day, you want to have an efficient method for onboarding and training, right? I think it's important for you. Obviously, for me, I like to not be involved as much as I can on the training and onboarding process, right? I like to train up an individual, then that person can train other individuals on the team, right? In one way that it depends. There's a couple ways, right? So there's one, if you're hands-on, one-on-one, maybe you're training somebody about photography, right? So we have set standards around our photography, but you don't have to do exactly as we do. Yeah, it's all the same camera settings, but there's some flexibility in there to kind of be your own person, as long as the end result is consistent that we're sending over to our customer. That's what's most important for us. All right, so we have some videos that we send out to our team members before we go out and train them in the field on real estate photography. So kind of set them up and make the learning curve a little bit shorter. Maybe some of those topics about customer service and customer experience, those are some of the things that we talk about in our pre-onboarding videos, I believe. So that's somebody that is in the field, right? So we train one individual, and then it kind of stems down from that. Then we empower the team, and we have different trainers on our team. So it's kind of a promotion opportunity to become a trainer for us. And these are people that are proven in the field and have done an excellent job and are very reliable and are great trainers overall. So I did talk a bit about input, and then the onboarding thing I didn't talk about, which we like to sit down with our individuals either via Zoom if they're in a market that's not, maybe they're in another market. Otherwise, if they're here locally, we can sit down with them at the office and kind of go over our policy and procedures manual. And I think it's important to set them up for success initially, even before you hire them, to know what you expect out of your team members, and can they fulfill those commitments and those non-negotiables in your company. I think that's very important to go over. Now, something that's very popular today is virtual assistants and hiring people on Upwork and freelance.com and these different websites, which we have a good amount of individuals working for us on Upwork. And I think it's important. So from my experience, I've had to train up an individual, but then that individual, after showing competence in that area, they become the trainer, right? And the way that I train that individual is with videos, typically, almost screen recording videos where I go over a task. All right, this is how to do it. Let me know if you have any questions. Then they have questions. Then I make another video on that, explaining that thing that they had questions about. So now we have an archive of videos that I have made, so I don't have to go back from square one if we hire somebody else, and then you're kind of messing around or having to spend more time, right? Because in my opinion, time is very valuable. Anyway, so then our editors, our admins, they then become the trainers, right, of the other individuals. So it's really, for the amount of people that we have on our team, which I think VA-wise on Upwork is in excess of 25 people, I've probably only trained 2 or 3 of them. And then they have, brought on maybe friends and family or other people, and we put them in charge of training the next person, right? I'm not huge on having this huge chain of command with a whole bunch of managers or whatever. I feel like I like a culture where people are accountable to themselves. They're accountable to the expectations of the organization. Now, we do have people that are helped to manage things, and they are somewhat managers, but I don't like that superiority of a role perspective. Even me, like, as the owner CEO of the company. I view myself as just another photographer. I'm just another team member. I don't like the hierarchy, like, oh, this person's higher than me or that. You know, there you have to have some degree of organization within the organization. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of hierarchies of power, I guess you would say. So yeah, training, that's the biggest thing for me, is the screen recordings, going over the task. And a couple tools that I like to use for screen recordings, I use Ecamm Live. I find that that's very efficient. There's a whole lot of different screen recorders. You can use the built into the Apple or Microsoft, but I feel like those are very clunky and the files are very, very big. And anyway, Ecamm Live is my go-to. It has been for the last couple years. I really love it. That's actually what I'm using right now to create these YouTube videos. And yeah, I don't have too many complaints about it. So anyways, that's it for this video. If you got value out of it, make sure to hit that like button, and we'll see you guys on the next one.